Hello, beautiful people.
Hello and welcome to another
Our
Truth
Truth
series.
I'm Corinna.
And I am her twin sister, Isabelle.
So today we are we would like to talk about a subject that is quite big, and we had lots of conversations about it because there's so much to say about it. And we even had recorded one, and it just didn't seem good enough. But doing this again now. Healing family dynamics, though, as well as a better title.
Well, no, I was saying expansion into a joyful life, healing through the ones closest to us. So that is also family, but it is
Whatever our surroundings are.
It's the ones that
affects us most.
that are close to us by blood or by circumstance, and then the ones that we choose to invite close to us. So they seem to be the greatest healers, the helpers for our healing, rather. And the thing with the dynamic is funny because the word dynamic means actually constant change. I've looked that up. And it's the opposite of what we understand when we're talking about family dynamic. It seems like we are talking about a certain structure and that's how it works. And then that's the opposite of what a dynamic is. It would be a changeable thing. So it's within something, maybe and then it stays there, but we have way more power when we adopt a different way of looking at things. And I found my most power in seeing the world through the eyes of energy, which means I have to say energy first. When I see the world as there's first a certain energy that I'm carrying, that I'm broadcasting into the field, and the field then responds to my energy, I have the power of change. I can change things because I have an effect. I have power over my frequency by my thought, by my focus.
And then I believe what is also extremely important is to be mindful, because I notice how humanity is so automatic in many ways. We do so many things without thought, and so it's very easy to fall into old programming and behave in a certain way that we don't even know we could do better because we're not thinking about it. It's just so automatic. So I think that's also has a huge impact to be aware of what are we really doing. And if we notice disharmony with someone we care about, then it's a perfect opportunity to look at, well, what am I really doing? What's really happening?
Yeah, it's the what is the other showing. And these are, again, now we're going back to who are the ones closest to us. The ones that are somewhat matching our frequency. And there is a message in there. I can see everything around me as a message if I choose to do so. That's free choice, free will. When Corinna and I have difficulties, the question I always ask is, what is my underlying issue here? And I recognize it's not my sister. It's not even our dynamic, other than it can only be my our dynamic, when I accept it as is, because I feel that whatever we are accepting as is has to continue, because we're making the rules.
So, right, but we also grew up a certain way, so there is
it's the program
pattern in there. Yeah.
Yes. So we grew up a certain way. We all grew up a certain way. We all were taught a certain way on how to see the world, and then after that, when we get conscious about what we are actually experiencing, we have the power to change it. Only by us saying, this is what it is. It's always the same issue. Does it have to repeat?
So then I think another trick is not take it so seriously. I think that really helps too, because we know we're explosive people and we grew up with quite fiery emotional expressions. And so I notice it's much harder to come back to peace when we let ourselves go into that expression of, it just becomes so big. And I think the times when we don't take it so serious and we do get more gentle, keeping in mind that we're not trying to hurt each other or make each other upset. It's just happened again because of whatever programming we're living with, or whatever our beliefs are, what just happened. which sometimes can also just be miscommunication.
So I do want to say that I feel there are two ways, two situations we can be in. There is a situation where we do not have the power to affect the other on the material plane. Like for example, in a abusive upbringing, right? You cannot really run away from your parents. Well, maybe you can involve somebody, or the majority of the time, though, I feel we do have a lot of power on how to handle something.
I think, like in a situation with parents, I just had this conversation with a friend. I think that what really helps again there is, or what goes against us, is that very often we have a situation with someone, and now we're almost expecting it to happen again in something that comes. You know, if another situation comes and it's reminding us of the old situation, we already recreate the scenario of the past by the fear of, oh no, this is going to happen. I already know how this person's going to respond. And that's, I think, another trick that can help us to try to create a new idea about that person, even if we've never seen it, because I think we co-create consistently. And if we already have a fearful thought about someone, or oh, I know what they're going to do kind of thought, then we're kind of putting them into this box where the possibility of change isn't really as big as if we say no. You know, if we just in our mind say, oh, I know this is going to work out, this is going to be different, or like, you know, it's just like playing with the idea, because it doesn't always work when you do that, but sometimes it does. And
that's exactly what I feel like. That's exactly it. When we say everything is energy and we accept something as is. So, oh, I cannot say that because I already know how they react. That's a setup for a certain outcome that is actually in the future. But in this present moment, I'm making it reality. What I wanted to say is, don't stay in abusive relationships, whether it's your job. I mean, if you can, we're not really. I don't think we're addressing children here. So the ones that are older can get away from where they are. Don't stay, of course. Yes, never stay.
You are definitely worth having a harmonious experience. You are worth having everything you've ever desired, and you're worth feeling worthy, and well, you just deserve to be happy. And if your environment doesn't give that to you, and you are an adult.
So, but when we're talking about
it.
family, right, where we cannot really, we can walk away from dad, mom, whatever, the sibling that is maybe really annoying or semi-abusive or something, but they are family, and there, in that case, I do feel like this is heavyweight if we walk around and we don't have peace with the ones that we actually love.
Oh yeah.
So having peace, coming to how do you get peace? I think what you were saying, or what I was saying also, is this: we can actually imagine it better than it is. We can imagine that person more loving than they are, aside from, of course, addressing it lovingly, with compassion. Who am I talking to? Why is my mom, my dad, my sibling who they are? So that I can address it from a very compassionate place, where I'm not the victim of what is happening, but I'm the participant of our dynamic.
Sure. So then we're ended for now. And
we have so much more to say. There's like
Isabelle made
whole
a big
notes.
list.
There's a lot to say on this subject, and many things we have said before, I'm sure.
That is a good start.
But it's good to repeat things anyway.
So lots of love to you, and an harmonious experience. May you feel the love that is consistently there.
If we look for it.
Yep. And if we believe in it too, we can get quite surprised with our environment if we believe it's possible to change. All right, lots of love.
Lots of love.
Bye.
Goodbye.